Girls aren't as pure as they seem to be. I honestly didn't want to share this, but I think it's for the best. This will alter your perspective of women. Just read it, it will be worth it. I was an attractive guy in high school and I was really popular with the girls. Many girls have asked me out, but I always rejected them pure for my faith. I don't want to get into a relationship before marriage. Ironically, whenever I rejected them, they wanted me even more. Yeah, that happens. I became known as the guy who rejected the hottest girls in school, which in return made me even more popular because every girl thought she would be the one. Even guys didn't understand me and said that what I did was gay, that they would fuck any girl that would ask them out. There was one girl, though, she was really pretty and exactly my type. She had perfect eyes, a nice body, and was super feminine. I kind of liked her, but I never spoke to her because I thought I would get seduced and commit sins. I was 16, okay? But I believed she would be the one and I would marry her in the future. Keep in mind, though, what I mean with rejecting girls and not talking to them is not socially isolating myself from girls. I just talk to them like humans as if they were guys. I didn't act differently around them compared to my male friends. And I liked the attention I got, I just wanted more. I would flirt here and there, but then leave them cold afterwards. That equalizes each other. Anyways, 2 years later, it was the last year of high school and exams would be soon. That girl who I so believed would be my woman said that she really loved me, and I told her that I would love to know her, but after my exams. My focus was really on the exams. They were 2 months away. She understood it, became a bit sad, but I didn't want to get distracted. Everything normal till now. But then out of nowhere, she said she knew that sex before marriage isn't allowed in my religion, but she really wanted to seal the deal between us. Then she said she would want to give me a blowjob to let me know that she is loyal. Read that again. This girl I am talking about, she never goes out with guys, has good female friends, her parents knew me and they were great, dresses modestly, is super feminine, took care of herself and was a virgin. If you would see her, you would immediately say she was wife material, but that wife material wanted to give a blowjob to a guy that doesn't really give her attention. That alternated my whole perspective to women. For some reason, when she said that, it put me off and all attraction from me was gone. I left her cold turkey. She didn't understand what she did wrong, and she said that every guy would dream to get a situation like this, but it wasn't a quality I wanted in my wife. Yeah, well, I mean, respect for having standards here. I do wonder if this is more of a just because most guys, this is like an abnormal amount of like holding to your values. And I wonder how much of this is actually you living by your values, or maybe potentially some feelings of like insecurity and overwhelm when it comes to girls. Just something for the poster to think about for anyone else who kind of, feels this way. Because by all means, live to your values. If you don't want to have sex before marriage, 100%, then don't have sex. But just ask yourself 100%, is there any part about this which is like I'm just kind of scared of it, that I'm kind of insecure, that I don't know how to, like how to speak to girls, or I don't know what to do or anything? Because I have largely seen a lot of like religious guys and guys who are, they don't want to have like sex or whatever. A lot of them I've actually seen, it's almost like a cope. It's just that it's kind of like difficult for them to kind of speak to girls or to like face rejection. Like they've got massive fears of rejection, of they're scared of girls, and so it's easier to say like, oh, I don't care about girls, or I'm not interested. It's easier to say that than it is to say like, oh yeah, I'm scared in cases I embarrass myself, or I'm scared in cases she rejects me and then she tells everyone she rejected me because one time in primary school when I was like 6 years old, a girl did that and I'm still kind of traumatized from it. That happens more often than you think, that a lot of guys will be a little bit older and they'll think it's like the value that they think it is, like, okay, I just want to be pure. But actually sometimes it's just more like insecurity. So it's good for you to just kind of like wonder what is the truth here. And if it is just your values, then by all means, okay, then you stick to them as you have done. Awesome. I kept thinking sometimes she will get a relationship with another guy, but that guy will never know that his dream woman offered a blowjob to another man. No, trust me, bro, we know. Once a guy, like, once you're kind of aware of, like, men and women, you kind of know which girl has had some experience before. And including, she's dresses modestly and whatever. Once you've spoke to enough girls, I think a lot of guys will actually know this. That's just crazy and disgusting. Imagine your mom wanting to give someone a blowjob. Call me gay, weird, or I don't know what else there is, but I really don't care. I just wanted to get this message out. I still really believe there are good women out there, but I don't think there are any in the West pure from the environment. Sex is normal here. Wives are found in Eastern Europe. The West is done. I used to kind of think this as well. I had never really been to Eastern Europe, but like, a lot of people online used to say this. So I thought, okay, if it sounds true, whatever. And then I've now dated like a few girls from uh, Croatia, Bulgaria, Russia, Ukraine, and it's not as big of a difference if you think it is, honestly. You'll still get a lot of headaches. I thought, like, okay, it's so easy. You've just got to find a girl from Eastern Europe. You've just got to get, like, a Russian woman, Ukraine, whatever. You've just got to get a girl from one of these countries. And it's like, it's not easy mode. It's not like, oh, you just get a girl from that and she's amazing. You'll still have problems. They'll still be like texting other guys and stuff. Don't believe the idea that like one woman from like a different race or ethnicity is just going to be higher quality. That's not the case. Girls from these countries are still sucking and fucking. They're still texting 20, 30 guys at once. They're still like getting guys to pay for their dates. They'll still, racking up body count. The only difference I'll say is they do seem to be just kind of more attractive, not in the purity sense. Absolutely not the purity. There's almost no pure. Like if you're looking for a girl who's pure, you go to the fucking like genuine Muslim country, not to the city, but in more of the villages and towns. But yeah, the girls from these kinds of countries here in Eastern Europe, they're quite attractive in the sense of like they're kind of like more feminine and traditional than most women are in the West, like in the UK, Australia, America. UK, Australia, America has women who are more like kind of pirates. They're like they're kind of like loud. They swear, they drink, and they're like they'll just be like loud and whatever. The girls in Eastern Europe, the ones that I've dated, actually, that all of them, like, it sounds a weird word to say, but all of them are extremely like well behaved, like extremely classy, very classy women. So that's just something to look into if you like sort of class. If you like a woman who, for example, like should never like act like trashy or some shit. That's more like a Western woman, UK, Australia. They'll get like drunk in public. They'll be swearing and whatever. Pirates, basically. But still, wives, like, if you want a wife who's pure, you still don't go to Eastern Europe. That's still not where the purity is. Purity, I don't think a single man even has the answer for this, but we all just kind of like assume, oh yeah, like you go to like a Muslim country and then you go into like the fucking village. That's where you'll find, if you want a girl who's like pure, untouched, has never been with a guy, that's where you might find her. But I don't think Eastern Europe is that kind of place, though. It's still beautiful girls, feminine, whatever, but no, not for what the poster wants. Respect, bro, for maintaining firm in your values. Yes, there are girls out there who are quite messed up, and that's why it's so important to be careful with who you emotionally invest in, as the girl could always be a woman in the white dress. So, a woman in the white dress, this is a phrase I came up with, where a girl will basically act like she's like this sort of marriage material, wife quality girl, but she's not. A lot of us knows this. It's like the myth of the good girl. She'll kind of tell you that she's like traditional, looking for a family. But then you'll notice that she's solo traveled, which of course we know what that means. And she's like got two ex-boyfriends, and she had this one guy who she was seeing, which basically means he just fucked her without being in a relationship. So, yeah, and a lot of girls, like, they wear this white dress kind of like a mask. They're basically pretending to be wife quality when they're not. That simply comes from valuing your time and energy, especially your own self-respect, over whatever girl it is. This post really reminds me of this one. This was a post by another guy inside of our community. By the way, this website that I'm on is kind of like our social media for guys on like self-improvements. So you might want to join, actually. You might want to join. Top link in the description. You get to, like, look at the fucking detail of these posts and everything. This was a post where this guy basically talks about, like, yeah, he met this girl who's like so wife quality, whatever, and then turns out like she's sucking his dick, and she's yeah. So it's awesome to be able to read stuff like this, because especially for the good boys, right? If you're a bit of like a degen and you're just happy fucking a lot of girls and whatever, then you don't really give a shit, right? But especially for the guys who are like religious and they want like a religious woman, and if you're a virgin and you want a virgin as well, A lot of girls will lie about it. A lot of girls might tell you they're a virgin, but they're not, or they've done a lot of other things. And so if that's something you're concerned about, because let's say you're a virgin, you want a virgin as well, then 100% you should keep your wits about you. You should really be careful because like girls are just kind of used to lying about like body count and everything. If you're a guy who like you just want to fuck a lot of girls, then honestly you don't even need to worry about like body count, whatever, because it's like okay, well, you kind of want her to in some ways be a hoe if you just want to fuck, right? But if you want to get like attached to a girl, you want her to be pure. It's just as simple as that. You want her to be pure. You want her to not have like the emotional baggage of like multiple ex-boyfriends and whatever, and like multiple hookups and situationships, and this one guy fucked her over and this one guy abused her, and this, you know what I mean? It's best if you have a girl who's not been through that, especially if you haven't been dating and sucking and fucking yourself. And if that's the case, then you've got to be very careful, because you'll meet the kind of girls who they'll kind of like tell you what you want to hear, especially when you're attractive and successful, and you don't know what they've done with another guy. The other post that was just linked there is literally called "Your wife quality equals my roadhead." And I swear to God, bro, I could write like 10 posts, 20 posts with a title like this. Your wife quality, my roadhead. Your wife quality, my blowjob before class. I could tell you so many fucking stories of girls you would think are like really wife quality. You would think that, oh my God, they're so modest, they're religious, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. So just be careful, because when you're like the fun guy, they'll show the real version of themselves to you. When you're like the religious good boy, they'll hide it from you. This is why, like, you know, I often speak about some of these dark things with like, okay, just watch out for like, you know, the girls who are at like this, why body count matters, whatever. It's for the good boys who I know that these girls lie to. Like, they don't lie to me. These girls, like, bro, they'll openly tell me, like, how many guys they slept with. Oh, yeah, like, I went to the sex party and there was, like, 6 people there. It was 3 guys, 3 girls. They'll tell me this shit, right? And it's like, of course they'll tell me because I'm just, like, the fun guy for them. But if you want to be this serious, if you want to be the good boy husband, they're not going to tell you these things. You'll never know. You'll never know that she's, like, had experiences before you. She's been, like, fingered in the park or some shit. You'll never know. And if you don't want that for your wife, then you've just got to be fucking careful. You've got to be like very slow to vet this girl. You've got to literally interview her fucking family, speak to all of her friends, see every single picture she's posted on social media, everything, and see like all the guys who follow. You know, just like you've got to fucking like analyze it, which I know sounds crazy. But imagine you were going to make the biggest investment of your life, like a business investment. You would analyze everything, right? All the details, right? Think about it. If you were going to invest into like some business or something, you'd want all the details, all the data, everything, right? If anyone said like, "Oh, that's weird. Why are you doing that?" You'd be getting suspicious of them, thinking like, "Yeah, but it's a fucking huge investment. I want all the data possible, right?" So it's the exact same thing. If you want to get married, you should be analyzing it like a business decision, where you even get like a fucking lawyer. You like, you know, you get all your friends. You ask ChatGPT and shit. I wouldn't probably use ChatGPT. It's a bit of a shit like thing to kind of message in terms of stuff like this, because it'll just kind of like reflect your own values and stuff, which it's not really valuable in this situation. But you should be like extremely like vetting the girl that you really want to take seriously, that you think, okay, I'm going to marry. Because it's the biggest investment of your life, bro. It's literally, it'll be bigger than any business investment, whatever, because it's not just your time, which is money, but it's also your emotional health, your physical health. The person you become is hugely, hugely, hugely determined by the person that you get into a relationship with. So, yeah. And if anyone's watching this on YouTube, like I said, this top link in the description will bring you to like this social media platform for guys on self-improvement. And for any guys who are more on the side of being the good boy, I highly recommend you come join our platform, because I made like a ton of courses that are on YouTube. And this one here, the Red Pill course, this explains, it's more for the guys who just want to fuck. So, you know, if you're a good boy, you probably don't want to like fuck a lot of girls, but this will also explain how to tell which girls have fucked, and also when it shows you how to become the guy that girls want to fuck, you'll also start to pick up on like if she's slept around or not. So it's valuable for the guys who just want to fuck, and it's also valuable for the guys who are quite like I've got modules there for religion and whatever. It's also for the guys who like want to just be husbands and you want to get a pure woman because you basically want to avoid the girls who are like this basically. So it will teach you a lot, and it's like, bro, it's like 24-minute module there. It's probably like 4 or 5 hours, 20 minutes there, unedited, long form. That's like 1 hour there. Probably like 5 hours of like big fucking good lessons. Like you, this one module, let's say it's 40 minutes long. This one module might literally save you from like marrying the wrong girl. Think about how fucking valuable that is. Can you imagine how valuable this one module is? Then if I show you like, okay, let's say this one, like, come on, this one module, it's kind of just referring to the other course that's in here. But like, let's say you do get your wife, and of course, once you've got your wife, you still want to have good sex with her. Like, yeah, then boom, you got a full course on how to fuck properly and everything. So yeah, this place, I think it's fucking sick. I used to sell each of these courses for hundreds of dollars each, and you can just join and get all of them together. If you join, you have to wait to get some of them, but if you join with the annual subscription, it's $197 to join and get access for an entire year to the social media platform and then all the courses and the new courses I make. And it's, bro, it's like such a good deal, bro. And I'm making more courses as well. So top link in the description. Come join inside. I really think it's such a good place to join. Bye bye.